Hi, and welcome to another What's in a Corporate Startup. My name's Afonso from Bundle, but I'm here with Claesen. We're going to speak about eXpanded Media, a corporate startup in the field of application integration to help financial investments go through for ecology, for other sectors of the economy. Now, this was a corporate venture inside Ubizen, and he was the CEO of it. There's a lot for us to learn about this one, so I'm going to dive in and ask you, welcome first for being on the show.
Thank you.
And what was the problem in the market that you were trying to solve?
The problem was that the market was growing up. We were in 98, internet had to grow up. Security was not longer something putting a firewall into a system and it would work. So for Ubizen, the deal was how to professionalize application security. For eXpanded Media, it was how to integrate internet technology, information management, process automation into the core of a business, into the core, not only technology, but also the core business of a company.
And this process that I believe you started inside a monastery, where Ubizen had its office, and then when they moved out, you took over the whole place. How long was the incubation process from start to go to market?
I think we could realize it within 1 year. That's thinking as filling 2 small rooms with 10, 15 people to growing to 60, 70 people, and like you said, taking over the monastery. And in the end, we grew to 120 people. That's time to make it a separate company.
And do you recall during that period of 1 year, the major milestones you were adhering to and communicating up to Ubizen?
The most important one is when you grow from a business unit to a separate company who shares services with another company, but suddenly you're not a business unit anymore, you're a company, you get a board, you have a board of directors you have to report to. That's a major step from going as a cozy unit to a bigger company.
And focusing on change and focusing on your role, how did you get involved in the beginning, and did that change as well?
I had some experience before Ubizen with uitgeversbedrijf Tijd, where I started a business unit that also became a company. So I think when I saw that little unit at Ubizen working with internet technology, I jumped on. I started as a commercial director for it, finding customers, putting the vision out there in the market, and then I grew to CEO. But you know, the difference is not that big. I am a strong believer that if you are CEO of a company, you have to be the best commercial director of the best business developer, because you can sell the company like nobody else.
So you have a title, but you're still jack of all trades. You do it all.
Yeah. No, you do more in the same time.
And one of the great things that we spoke about corporate ventures is leveraging assets. What would you say were the core assets you leveraged from Ubizen while building eXpanded Media?
Well, in the beginning, we took the services from HR, from administrative department, legal, accounting. We did quite some things together. When we grew bigger, we took over the administrative, HR, and accounting part, but we still did the legal stuff together. But next to that, with Ubizen, the relationship was always we build applications they can use, and they have security solutions we could use. There was always interaction, right. And that's important. If you are a corporate venture, that's important that you can keep that relationship strong.
And what was the relationship at that time with Ubizen when you left? Was it still an independent company?
You know, Ubizen was sold quite, I think 2 or 3 times. In the end, Verizon is now the owner. And well, you know, when a big American company comes and buys the mothership, you also have to start thinking, because you're not core business, so you also have to find a new home for your company. And well, in the end, also eXpanded Media was sold. And well, that's also the moment that I did a phase out.
And you moved on to many
Yeah.
other corporate ventures. But if you had to go back, what would be the one thing you would have spent more time doing?
Well, I would have spent more time, and if I look at my projects now, I spend more time with people of HR. Help them understand what you need to find the right people, and not thinking that HR is just a supply chain of FTEs. And like I also said with the brainstorming, we always, when we had a new idea, we took 2, 3 people, 4 people, and we did a brainstorm. And over time, we started doing bottom-up brainstorming, and that's something we had to start earlier. And I think the last thing I would do different is when you come in the field of merger and acquisitions, you have to think longer than we did before selling the company.
Right. Okay. Wow. That's a good actually word of warning or just of caution to anyone watching out there. Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll cross paths again. I know that you're a serial builder, and it was great having you here.
Thank you.
There you have it. That's what's in a corporate startup. If you know of corporate startups out there that you want us to focus on, do send them our way. Let's get in touch. Let's get them here. Let's get understanding more about what's in these corporate startups. How are they built? What were the triggers? And where are they now? Thank you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.